restrictions obviously work out really poorly for them. Or you can actually put out the metrics yourself. You can share how many copies the game is sold, what its profitability was even. Like, these are things gaming companies
The
can
deep space
share
is
whatever.
right ahead.
They just want the optics to look positive, so they just say nothing and assume that everyone thinks that they're winning and making millions and celebrating and sipping champagne, right? But in reality, you know, now that we've had enough time to evaluate not just this game, but a variety of different games, we can kind of see where these live service games are landing and when they're doing well and when they're really struggling. I messed a lot of times before I stopped, and unfortunately didn't land where I wanted to. You know, I was kind of hoping this was like, you know, fuck, we didn't make a Destiny 2, but suffice for me not getting to play Destiny 3.
Standing by.
And it definitely didn't land. Definitely
The operation begins.
the same way that Destiny 1 did, or the way that the Destiny 2 did.
That's funny.
And that is why they are here. They are mad because if you can educate yourself and you can pay attention to the developers' social media accounts and the game's official accounts and channels, you're paying attention to press releases, you're looking at things like you're able to actually do a little bit of mathematics, and you are educating yourself, you are taking their job from them. You don't need to click on their articles where they break down numbers or where they force you to entertain.
That's
That's why they are so upset. And that's why they're taking this backlash so personally now when a High Guard fails or a Concord fails or a Marathon fails.
Yeah, she was bringing up a pretty valid point, which is that the gaming journalists have a lot of power. It's kind of a legacy position now. There's really no need for these gaming journalists anymore. It's just, they used to be a thing of old. Right? Nowadays, people go to content creators, and a lot of these journalists have even turned into content creators, making their own YouTube channels and stuff. People turn to them for opinions because, one, the medium of video is just better than reading in general. It's just a little bit more entertaining, perhaps, and keeps your retention. So there's that element. And two, it's just that content creators don't have this sort of special privilege. Some maybe, if they have like creator status with the company, but content creators, by and large, the ones that don't have creator status, have no special privilege, so they're just there to give.
The crime scene is in a busy area.
On the matter.
Even at night,
And
there are
sometimes it's
still many
positive,
people around.
like Crimson Desert, I
The
can't say enough
criminal
good things
would
about
have
the story.
had to
Not
survey the place
it's
ahead of
awesome.
time
Definitely worth
to
it. I
avoid
paid full
being
price
seen.
for it. $70. A lot.
So
And
we need to check the recent surveillance
very
footage
much,
nearby.
$40. I did have fun playing it for a little
Yep.
bit. It faded out pretty fast for me as soon as the fourth map unlocked. I have zero interest in playing ranked against cheaters, so fuck that. I already played enough cheaters inside Destiny 2 Trials of Osiris. There ain't no way you're convincing me to go play more cheaters, or the same cheaters that are in Trials of Osiris now migrated over to Marathon. I am not interested in that. No, thank you. I will stay at the lowest rank, and I will stay on other games, for sure. I've spent years matching cheaters.
The crime scene is in a busy area.
And that's why
Even at night, there are still many people around. The criminal would have had to survey the place ahead of time to avoid being seen. So we need to check the recent surveillance footage nearby.
Entertainment is now pushing. Why
Yep.
are people not buying these experiences? Well, it's because
It's interesting. So what she's doing here is Paul Tassi is framing it as the hate of Marathon is become its own culture, its own identity, its own sport. Right? Whereas what she could break down is why are there haters that are slob? And you would argue that Marathon isn't slob. Some people would say it is. Live service slob, or just shooter slob. And I think that there's some truth to both of these sides. And so I wouldn't say that Marathon is as sloppy game as like High Guard or Concord. Like, dear God, it's way more polished than both of those games. But it does have some elements missing from it that they don't there's a lot of background. Maybe it is culture wars, people wanting to argue their politics, right? But that's their politics. Other people have checkers, right? see them fail. I'm sure there's different stuff on it for that, but for the most part, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. The game does have to be well, does have to be fun, does have to be
Because they are low energy and low intelligence, like criticizing it or harassing or bigotry and voicing their opinions. Paul voiced his opinions about how much he hated something like Stellar Blade, for example. Did I come out and call Paul Tassi a disgusting loser and a terrible person and labeled him an acer? No, I did not. I might have called him a loser, but that's just like a personal opinion. That's not a fact or me trying to label him as something terrible to get him deplatformed like people often do on the internet, and they're generally from Paul Tassi's side of the aisle. But we have seen a lot of articles like this. Marathon earned its recent review scores, which shouldn't be controversial. He says that Sony is not about to pull a Concord and shut it down. It will not for the indefinite future, and Bungie's years-long plans remain in place, at least on its end. Yeah, if you have nobody who's playing your game, though, there's no point to keep a live service experience alive. That is the...
It's a pretty valid point. It's something we talked about with Destiny 2, where they did mention that there would be a multi-year plan, a multi-year roadmap coming out for Destiny 2. And while that does breathe a little bit of hope, knowing that, Destiny 2 will probably see 2027, 2028, maybe even 2029, right? That feels really good in and of that of itself. But when you think about the context of, like, what has the last year been like, and would you really want another year of Edge of Faith and Renegades, and a second year, and a third year, and a fourth year of that, potentially, right? I don't think you would, right? I don't think you would want that. Now, it's not that you would want the game to die. It's not like, oh, we'll just end the whole thing. It doesn't benefit you as a player, because you can always have the choice to just not buy it or not play it. But what you really want is you want another year of the Witch Queen. You want another year of Forsaken. You want another year of time in Destiny that was really memorable and fun. And I don't know if Bungie's going to be able to deliver that in Destiny 2 or in Marathon. We shall see. Only time will tell. But right now it feels like they've lost their core people that really made Destiny special, and maybe even Marathon 2.
Issue that we face, maybe if you actually fought against live service games a little bit more, Paul Tassi, things would not be so bad for Marathon. But he says the idea that if a game did not meet sales expectations, that must mean it's bad is not something that needs to be joined together. And I actually think his example is hilarious. He says, have you ever met Square Enix? It became a meme that practically all of its very good slate of games, from Tomb Raider to Guardians of the Galaxy to Deus Ex, underperformed, and future plans were shelved, but that didn't take away from their quality. The modern Tomb Raider games aren't great quality. Guardians of the Galaxy, I know some people liked, some people didn't, but he's also not pointing out the biggest live service failure on their slate. And one of the biggest live service failures, Marvel's Avengers, that nickel and dime people that completely died because why did Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics release Halo, everybody? This is just so funny. Now, of course, the
Antigone. How to say about
video game. A lot of Marathon fans were seemingly unable to stop spiraling over their low player count on CP. Posts like this dominated the game subreddit where everyone on social media. This led to the launch of the Marathon subreddit defeating many of these posts, leading to more posts like this. Corsia Toby, Strife Sanchez actually had his own time to censor.
This is true. We actually covered shit like this. These are audience with effort. We're gonna bust this. If you go to it's just like, what happened? How did we get here? What's wrong, Bungie? Where do we go from here? It's like there's no censorship on r/Destiny Games, so it's all just like doom and gloom. Everyone understands the state of Destiny 2 is bad. There's not much room for anything positive in there, right? Other than like maybe a nostalgia post of like, this game, if it does die, probably my best friend. Rest in peace. Those types of posts. When you go to r/Marathon, it is nothing but positive. And if you post anything that is even the tiniest bit skeptical of anything, you will be banned, your post will be removed, will be thrown into the abyss. The highest degree of censorship I have ever seen on r/Marathon. They will not allow any negativity to be talked about of their game.
Case summary. The downtown
Try
theft case
posting
has been
in the Steam
resolved.
charts on it. Go
All
ahead, try.
physical evidence has
Post the
been
Steam
collected,
charts,
and the
say
chain of
something
evidence
positive.
is clear and
Just
complete.
anything to do
Since
with
the
Steam
culprit
charts
is non-human, it is recommended that the owner enforce strict discipline and confine the culprit for 1 day.
I don't know how this has become normalized. A lot of people are talking about it. She mentioned the Barbra Streisand effect, which is like, Barbra Streisand trying to hide the location of her house. Same thing happens here. So now people are even more frustrated. You go onto Twitter and search Marathon. It's a lot. There's some positivity, but it's a lot of negativity. No censorship. They're not on Twitter. They're not censoring out the mean Marathon posts where people spam the fucking Steam charts. Which I'm not gonna lie, Steam charts being spammed is a little bit obnoxious. I've been following a few people, and like every day, like every 6 hours, they post the Steam charts, and it's like, okay, we get it.
According to the report, apart from the victim, no other footprints were found at the scene. Wait, there's a cat's paw prints too. Could the culprit be a cat? I should look into this.
And teach their own nothing. It's crazy the censorship is happening. It's definitely creating, like I said, it's really polarizing discourse because people feel like they're being silenced when they criticize the Steam. That's why all these like really positive views on Steam seem very unusual. But then you go look at Metacritic and it's like super negative stuff on Metacritic. So you're like, huh? It is such a crazy time to talk about this.
Silence. You need to allow the opportunity for gamers to talk about the experience. I get
If everyone started to say CSGO is a really bad game, I don't think we can consider it. Like, one, you're going to play CSGO is a bad game. It's not to get you guys, it's actually getting you trend. People love that game. People are playing the game like crazy. It's doing really well. People are calling the bad game bad, and maybe it's going to dumpster fire. Although it's glad for us, watching a dumpster fire is always, that's part of society. You drive past the car crash on the side of the freeway, you're slowing down. Safe, but you're also, you're looking over there like, hey, what's going on? Why is the car, all scrunched up, right? Same thing, gaming, these disasters, we, pass by and kind of check up on it, like, what is that? What is going on in Marathon? And Marathon is because it's just one game on game, or it's not struggle, rather, our entire the one thing we did was just struggled a lot. As much as I hate to say it, I was really hoping for first with the concept to go back and talk about the video. I had my Marathon shirt on, I was exclusive. I have looked at probably stuff that's not the best that I will get next. Will probably be stuff. Let's go. But so excited. The life. 6 miles. Everything. All things. We were looking forward to it. And then step by step, it was systematically destroyed with terrible
Ngalizokorewa anomba ngalizokorewa nyilefa maka ngalizokore
What is it?
15,000 people, and then there's going to be the new season reset, and we're going to go into that with maybe 15,000 people online, right? When that happens, there's going to be a resurgence. Are we going to get back up to 88,000? Are we going to go above 88,000? Are we going to get 100,000?
Oh, no.
Or are we going to get less? I really think that's really powerful having people. Because they're going to have that stuff. You better believe it, that that's just going to all the other stuff. If there's a new active forum, there's a forum. There's new characters, there's new
Standing by.
It's like it clearly didn't move the needle in terms of profitability for the game that really comes back. No one cares. No one got behind it, but it moved the needle to such a small degree that it's like that's so much. We're buying full price $70. Here we go. It's an unfortunate thing that we found ourselves into with this culture war.
That's all that
Where should we go play? Boosting power.
Right now, maybe in limbo, I would say at best. Not being a little bit optimistic, but I think that the very next indicator of like its overall lifespan will come from that first reset. Because once we've seen how much Marathon can rejuvenate its own audience in June, we'll see what its longevity will be, and we'll also see what happens when there's Destiny 2 launch and a Marathon launch in tandem. Because if you don't know, obviously
Just keep lighting for me to
start playing Marathon, partly out of boredom and partly because they satisfies their PvP desires and things that they never really got in Destiny. So I'm not saying that they're disingenuous in doing it, but I guarantee you that Destiny 2 players that are playing Marathon right now,
Machines get fatigued too. Don't forget proper maintenance.
10 years, right? Think about this. I guarantee you they would much rather choose more Destiny 2 over Marathon. So when push comes to shove, the day something new is in Destiny 2 and something new is in Marathon, I would say at least 90-95% of those players are going to be in Destiny 2. They spent over a decade playing that franchise and being involved in that world and that lore, and they're probably going to stick with that. How much of the population will that really hurt? We don't know yet. We've never really crossed this bridge before, right? As it stands right now, Marathon launched during the lowest point and the least interest point in Destiny 2, and we noticed that Destiny 2 died much faster when Marathon launched. We saw the Trials population drastically get cut into half, like instantly. We saw just last weekend there was no teams in Trials, 0 teams in Trials for a period.
Machines get fatigued too. Don't forget proper maintenance.
And so we do know that Marathon is siphoning players from Destiny 2 because there's nothing to do in the game, right? So we know that they just can't cross over that. But what happens to both teams? Because they both have, in June, early June, they have Shadow Border and they have like what's going to happen? What's it going to look like? It's going to be crazy time, and June is going to be the deciding month for Marathon's life cycle. I genuinely believe that. Once June is over, people know how much longer we're going to have this game. We'll see though. We got to wait until then. Let me know what you think down in the comments.
I think something just flashed through my mind.
Why does my HOA tolerate the giant cutouts that I make in front of my lawn? And also, what do I do with them when it starts to rain or the weather is bad? One of the most
there are so many articles that have gone up defending this experience. So many people taking to social media and saying this isn't fair and you guys are not even giving it a chance. But really, a lot of people that did are not coming back to play this experience, given the player counts have gotten lower and lower.
Machines get fatigued too. Don't forget proper maintenance.
Not held on to its 88K peak on Steam, and I wanted to talk about this slew of articles that have really saying people are hating on Marathon as a sport. People have killed this game like they killed Concord and Highguard, and that these developers shouldn't listen to social media. Hey, computer, what makes you so wrong?
Mas não sabe do que
there. I wish that I could love it. I wish that this was a game that was holding my attention the way that, I don't know, Utopia has or Crazy Desert has. This is a game I am a big fan of extraction shooters, but even the people who bought it and who gave it a shot initially are not amused by it. But the fact that gamers are actually paying attention to the lack of public numbers we've gotten, the analysts' estimations, which are
I have missed
1.2
some.
million copies being sold, which is abysmal for a game that needs to sell at least 7 million right now. The fact that people are educating themselves has intimidated a lot of video game journalists. Now, of course, then you're going to chalk it up to you are being critical, you are being negative, you just want everything to fail, but really, what you should know is that you are taking their jobs away from them, and that is why they are furious. They are mad because pay attention to the developers, social media accounts, and games official accounts and channels, you're paying attention to the press releases, you're looking at things like Steam, you're able to actually do a little bit of mathematics, and you are educating yourself, you are doing their job. Your job is don't click on their articles or don't find out so personally now when a high guard fails or a Concord fails or a marathon fails, and that's why they're putting out all of these different articles like, why are people hating marathon as a sport? You mean, why are people sick of buying slop? Why are people not buying into? If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And if you didn't get it, I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.
Machines get fatigued too. Don't forget proper maintenance.
Of games like Flintlock, The Dawn, 1348, Expono, and Dust Wars, there are bound to be a few that do not get a lot of attention, and this latest one, people have held as just control. It features Eric Easy and Deborah Wilson, and all over their marketing materials, they highlight the first cast of characters must save the world. Live streams.
Machines get fatigued too. Don't forget proper maintenance. If I modify the design this way... think something just flashed through my mind. I think something just flashed through my mind. Machines get fatigued too. Don't forget proper maintenance. I think something just flashed through my mind.
Verified that it isn't a Souls-like, and that anytime you hit a wall, just go out into the world, become stronger, and then return to the boss. Palmer Hills, everyone's favorite plan B, and killing the boss insta-wipes you were a thing and could even be crafted. But as more and more people went hands-on, it became obvious that combat fell into two hands. Dynasty Warriors as power base, where one waylay does really a thought, and group boss fights that blitz through your defenses.
I think something just flashed through my mind.
Of course, you'd heard those loud and went about nerfing certain bosses and enemies. Attacks that massively chunk stamina while blocking were now far more manageable. From the storm that was approaching hard knocks on a wood board, which isn't the worst thing in theory. It felt a little odd to be taking so much damage and particularly finding windows to attack because everyone possessed an ultimate attack with invincibility throughout. And that was even while keeping up with upgrading my gear. Tedium of mining ores and chopping trees mixed in with the real joy that is exploration.
If I modify the design this way,
I decided to further sand off the rough edges. Gliding is much easier thanks to lower stamina consumption. Resources are more plentiful as chests containing the same discovered while exploring. Players discovered more tech for getting around faster, which went hand in hand with gliding achievements to make it far easier to collect this artifacts and in this presence. Seriously, the desert, they're just right. Which meant that even if this artifacts required upgrades, well, like the other even
if I modify the design this way, If I modify the design this way... If I modify the design this way...
Did you know sometimes devs know exactly what you
If I modify the design this way... I think something just flashed through my mind. Machines get fatigued too.